Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another review. This time around, I'm reviewing God of War III Remastered, brought to you by Sony Santa Monica. Set in the realm of brutal Greek mythology, God of War III Remastered is the critically acclaimed single-player game that allows players to take the fearless role of the ex-Spartan warrior Kratos as he rises from the darkest depths of Hades to scale the very heights of Mount Olympus to seek his bloody revenge. Armed with double-chained blades and an array of new weapons and magic, Kratos must take on Mythology's deadliest creatures while solving intricate puzzles throughout his merciless quest to destroy Mount Olympus. Now, most of you guys know I'm a huge Sony Santa Monica fan. I've always loved the games that this studio has created, but God of War, the series itself, has always been something very near and dear to my heart. And when I say this game is near and dear to my heart, I sincerely mean that. Sony Santa Monica has always been such a great studio. All the games that they have ever pushed out, they have strived for those games to be more of a cinematic experience than anything. And I remember when God of War 1 launched, it had such a changing effect on me as a gamer. The last game that it had that effect on me was Metal Gear Solid when it launched. The graphics, the gameplay, the story, the voice acting. It was something completely different in the games industry. It was something completely different in video games just in general. And I feel it was almost the same exact way with God of War. There's a lot of people that look at God of War as just a button masher, of something that's kind of for quick thrills. Okay, you can run through with double-chained weapons, swing your weapons around, kill people left and right. That's all it is. There's a couple of friends of mine out there that think this game series as a whole is just a button masher, and I feel it's so much more than that. It's not just an overall graphical experience. It's not just something that kind of gets your heart pumping of you swinging the blades and you going against enemies that are so much bigger than you. It's a cinematic and a gripping story experience like many other games out there have strived and tried to be, but they never hit that mark like the God of War series. There is always something in the God of War series that makes you go, oh my god, that was crazy. And it's not just the blood and the gore. It's also the intricate puzzles that you do in the game. It's also the story of you know, doing all you can in the original God of War series. You do what the gods tell you to do. You become a god. And then you get all of that pretty much stripped away from you because the gods pretty much lied to you. They lied to you. They kind of twisted their words and made it seem like they would make these nightmares go away of you killing your family. And guess what? They were never going to do that in the first place. Ever. So you take your revenge. Now, I know I've gone into somewhat of a tangent about the God of War saga. And we're not here to talk about the God of War saga. We're here to talk about God of War III Remastered. But I almost feel like I need to talk about it. I feel that there's viewers out there that are watching this right now that have not played all the God of War games. You must go back and play them. Play them now, or I will strike you down. Seriously, the God of War saga is probably one of the best sagas out there. There's not just 3 games, there's a total of 5 games available. The God of War saga consists of God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War Chains of Olympus, and God of War Ghosts of Sparta. Now, I'm sure most of you are sitting there thinking, this dude just told us that we need to go out and buy God of War III Remastered at $39.99, but then he also told us of a God of War saga that has God of War 3 and 4 other God of War games for 17 bucks used at my local GameStop. Why would I go and buy an HD remastered of one game when I can buy a saga that has 5 God of War games? And it's cheaper, Caleb. Why would I do that? Well, most of you that know me know that I'm usually not the type of guy that talks about visuals and just says, well, you should buy it because it's 1080p 60 frames per second. But you should buy it because it's 1080p at 60 frames per second, because it completely changes the experience of the game. It doesn't just make it, oh, it's a little bit prettier and oh, it moves a little bit faster. I feel that this game was originally intended to run at 1080p 60 frames per second. Now I'm going to try as hard as possible to crunch down what I really want to say about this game. I feel this game is more than just another rehash or HD remastered re-release like everyone's doing nowadays. I almost feel like I'm sitting down at a fire with this old dude that I just met, and he's wanting to tell me a story about a tale of revenge and a tale of love and passion and how this man has gone through everything. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's such a gripping game. It's such a visually gripping and emotionally gripping title. I remember when it first released and I played it and I got to the very end, and spoiler alert, if anybody doesn't want to hear this, stop the video now. When I got to the end and the credits rolled and I was just sitting there in awe and just saying, oh my god, that game was so good. And then the credits passed, and whenever we see this trail of blood, I'm thinking we're going to see Kratos' body, and there is no body. That was one of the greatest moments of my freaking life. I remember just thinking, they're gonna make another one. They're gonna make another one. Holy crap, they're gonna make another one. Well, of course, we got God of War Ascension. Now, it's not that God of War Ascension was a bad game. It's just that God of War Ascension was a pretty bad game. The game should have never been released, to be honest. And it kind of messed with the history when you think about it. When you really think about it, there was a lot of times that I feel that it kind of took away from the God of War series. And I say that because they added multiplayer in the game. What's crazy about it is that the multiplayer was actually more fun than the normal game. And that's a really bad thing. But to get back on topic, I was very excited at the end of the game when Kratos' body was not there. And I just still to this day am thinking they're going to come out with another one. They're going to finally finish the God of War saga. If they want to release a God of War HD remastered version, what makes you think that they would not want to finish the title? And especially with an ending like that in God of War 3. Now, most of the times when I do a review, I always talk about the visuals and the audio and how I like the story. But this time around, I'm really not doing that. I kind of just want to tell you guys why I feel that you should buy this game. Yeah, it's an HD remastered. Yeah, we've seen a lot of those in the last couple of years. But this game is what gaming is about. It's not just about the visuals. It's not just about the button mashing and the gore and wow, the graphics look so realistic. It's an emotional tale of revenge for a man that really was trying to be something that he finally realized he could never be. He was played by the gods. And it's almost strange how good the story is, because it makes you want to think that this actually happened. That this actually happened. That back in the day, back in the Greek times, there was all kinds of tales of the ghost of Sparta fighting Zeus, and that's where the gods went. The gods, they were destroyed by Kratos. That's the reason why the world is the way it is now. It started over fresh. That's how good the story is. It makes you want to believe that it was real. And that's the reason why I'm going to give this game a full-on buy. The overall experience of the game, graphically, the music, the voice acting, just everything about it is what I feel gaming is all about. Yeah, there's a lot of games out there now that don't have the budget that Sony Santa Monica have to make this visually stunning game like God of War. But I feel that God of War is not just a button masher. Like I said earlier, it is a visually stunning game. It is a story-driven game, and it's a brutal freaking game. It's something that just kind of grips you and is like, this is how tough life is. Sometimes you just got to push through and get stuff done. Now, don't go out and kill anyone over revenge. Please don't do that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But the overall aspect of the game is just brilliant. Now, I know I didn't touch much on the story. I know I didn't touch much on the full-on aspects of the game of, it doing this and so on and so forth. But most of you guys that are frequent subscribers or frequent viewers of the channel, you know I try to have a little bit of a different aspect in the games industry than what other people do. I want to have a second opinion, and I want to have something a little different than other people. I don't want to talk about the same stuff and say, man, the graphics were amazing and it was like 60 hertz and it was crazy and whatever. That's not how I want to do my review. I want to talk about the reason why I liked it. And the reason why I liked it is that I've always been a huge history buff. And the story, which is so gripping, it makes me want to think that Kratos was real. So please, guys, go out, buy this title. It's $39.99. You could probably get it cheaper than that right now at GameStop. Head on over to GameStop.com. Check that out. And make sure to check out our previous reviews over at SecondOpinionPod.com for the latest and greatest gaming news, previews, and much more. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at SecondOpinionPro. Follow me on Twitter at S0LEB. And check back soon for our review of Rocket League. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.